Hello, you're watching the Katie Sassine Show. As always, I'm your host, Katie Sassine, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. So what is on the table for this week? Well, nothing other than Ann Coulter. If we could pull up a picture of Miss Ann Coulter for everyone to see, please. So, Ann Coulter is a very famous author. She's a speech maker. She has made speeches at over 100 universities across the nation, probably much more, but that's her words, not mine. So what happened with Ann Coulter this week, and where was she not able to speak at? Well, if you have been watching the Katie Sassine Show for a couple months now, then you're well aware of what happened with Milo Yiannopolous at UC Berkeley campus. And at that same campus this past week, Coulter was prohibited from making a speech, just speaking her mind. Now, what is the issue with this? What is the issue with Ann Coulter not being able to speak at UC Berkeley? Because ultimately that's what happened. She was unable to speak for many reasons that we'll go over in just a few minutes. But, you know, why is that such an issue? Well, it's an issue because it's an infringement upon the First Amendment, the freedom of expression. And when you mess with the amendments of the United States of America, then you're going into some very dark waters. And, you know, we saw that with gun rights. We saw that when there was supposedly supposed to be more gun control in this country. As a conservative, we're against that. We just talked about with BKP, the National Rifle Association. Now Governor Nathan Deal should come out and support that. Amendments are the Bill of Rights are extremely important to maintaining the United States as a republic, to maintaining our integrity as a republic. And if we don't have that, we have nothing. So that's why I would like to talk about Ann Coulter this week. Because she's a brilliant author and a brilliant speech maker, I guess that's what we would call her. I think, you know, I'm giving credit where credit is due, and especially under those harsh circumstances that she faced when she was supposed to give a speech this past Thursday. So why was she unable to do this? Berkeley, as a university, was not committed to keeping her safe during her speech. In addition, the police forces of the local city, the local police forces, were unable and unwilling to defend the campus as well. They were unwilling to provide safety for Ann Coulter. They were unwilling to foster freedom of speech by their unwillingness to protect Ann Coulter. That's exactly what happened here. So it's not only the university itself, it's also the police department of the local area, of the Stanford area. So this is definitely a terrible idea to inhibit freedom of speech, and that's what we're seeing at UC Berkeley right now. A college with an amazing reputation that is now being severely tainted, and it started with Milo Yiannopolous. I always want to call him Milo is not the easiest name to say. It started with Milo. There we go. It started with Milo, and now with Ann Coulter. I mean, are they trying to make themselves look bad? Because that's what it almost seems like. You would think that a public university, would condone freedom of speech, but we're seeing exactly the opposite right now. So we have Berkeley, a public institution, mind you, that's not willing to protect freedom of speech. Now, there's several layers of hypocrisy in that statement alone. They're a public university. They're not willing to protect a fundamental governmental given right. And not only that, what we believe as a God-given right here in the United States, freedom of expression. If they're not willing to protect freedom of expression, then what kind of place for education is that? Because that's what college is all about. You go to college, a lot of people go to college to find themselves. I know that's how I feel. I know that's how a lot of people feel. And as a senior right now, about to graduate, a lot of my colleagues ask me, because most of my colleagues are younger because I'm a senior, or, you know, it's a mix, but just depending on the class. So what happens in college, you know, obviously, as you get older, you start knowing younger people because people take their classes out of order on university campuses. You're not necessarily required to take every class in order, of course, as you are at your secondary school, your high school, you know. So what happens is younger people will ask me, you know, all the time on my opinions of things and whatnot, and I do advise them to express themselves and to be honest about who they are. And if they start there, then they'll get where they want to be, because only then can they get to the destination where they should be. Because if they're trying to be someone else than who they are, they're not going to be happy at the end of the day. They're not going to be happy their senior year or when they have to go find a job, because they started in a bad place. They didn't start where their heart was. So when I went to college in my freshman year, my professor of my freshman seminar told me, oh, could we pull up a picture of the UC Berkeley campus? We got a beautiful picture of UC Berkeley campus to show you how immaculate this campus is. So I remember my professor told me, gave me the best advice. This is when I was between deciding majors. I was thinking international business or international affairs. And I ended up deciding on international affairs because of what my professor told me. And he said, study what you love. Don't study what you think you want to do. Study what you love. And that, my friends, is freedom of expression. Being able to do what you love, study what you love, talk about what you love, and for a college to mitigate that effort is just atrocious. And if there's anyone out there watching this right now who disagrees, I beg of you to do your research and to ask yourself where you come from and which country you live in. I beg of you. So there's actually a Republican student organization at Berkeley that has filed a lawsuit against UC Berkeley for canceling, well, actually for infringing upon freedom of speech, verbatim, is the accusation. And this accusation is directly related to the scenarios with Milo, Yiannopolous, and now with author, speechmaker, and Coulter. So as you can see, they're well within their rights to file a lawsuit against UC Berkeley campus. And it's brilliant. So maybe, I mean, I don't believe this is a class action lawsuit yet. This is probably the only organization that has filed a lawsuit right now, but maybe it can become a class action lawsuit if you spread the word and if they start talking about it. Because, you know, you think, when we think about UC Berkeley, we think, okay, that's probably an all liberal college. And there probably wasn't any dissent about opposing Yiannopolous and about opposing Coulter's speeches there, because as we all know, they are conservative-minded people, both of them. Well, I know Milo describes himself as conservative. I'm pretty positive that Coulter would describe herself as conservative as well. But then I'm also splitting hairs too. So anyway, to some it would seem very surprising that there's a Republican organization that actually gives a dang, you know what, that actually cares to do something about this degradation of the Bill of Rights. I mean, truly, that's what it is. And, you know, this is all Republicans want. See, all Republicans want is equality. It is as if we are going back to civil rights. It's as if we're going all the way back to our civil rights right now. And we have second-class citizens that are fighting for equal respect and equal rights. Conservatives are treated as second-class citizens. That is a huge issue in this country when they go to liberal areas. Now, I'm not going to say that all liberals treat me like a second-class citizen, but I will tell you I have been majorly criticized. If majorly is a word, I think it is. So, if not, whatever, I just pulled a George W. Bush. It's all good. So, it's a huge issue, people. And all they want is equality. And specifically, what they will say for their lawsuit is that they want equal access to facilities on campus that everyone pays for. They pay for it in their student fees, which are exorbitant, and they pay for it in their daily sales taxes and taxes. So everybody is paying equally for this. In addition, there's no distinction between do liberals make more money or do Republicans on average make more money. So we're putting the same amount of money into the economy. I know the liberals have Hollywood, but the Republicans have a lot of the business moguls. And, you know, so do the liberals. But what I'm saying is we put equal money into the economy. So why are we not reaping equal benefits from the economy and from our government? That's the question. Now, I know there are a lot of Republicans that do reap very big benefits off of business, but that is their own doing, and that's what they've made for themselves, and that's something that no one else can take away from them unless you tax the you-know-what out of everybody, which is the socialist plan, which is a socialist platform that was pushed forth with the last administration, the Barack H. Obama administration. So that's all they want, you guys, that's all. They want equal treatment. They want equal access to facilities. This is crazy that there's even a lawsuit only because conservatives want to be treated equally to liberals. Is this a stretch? Is this a stretch to say? Is this a stretch to say that they're being treated like second-class citizens? I don't believe so. And I'll tell you an example. One time, one of my very best friends, well, this wasn't one time, I've been asked this a few times already by good friends, a couple acquaintances, and they've said, are you ever worried about getting work in media production and the entertainment business as an independent contractor, which I can always do on the side of whatever else I'm doing, because of your conservative views? And I said, yes, I have thought about that. But you know what? I'm going to be myself because the First Amendment says that I have that right. That's called freedom of expression. And if someone doesn't want to work with me because I have certain beliefs that they don't agree with, that person is discriminatory and they are in the wrong. So we've got to wrap it up for break. We'll continue this discussion right when we get back on the Katie Sassine Show. And we'll also begin talking about a protest that went on at my own campus, at my own college campus this past week. We'll get right back to you with the Katie Sassine Show. Thank you for tuning in.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Family-owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices,
friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine.
patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hello, welcome back to the Katie Sassine Show. If you've been tuned in, or if you haven't, we're talking about Berkeley, UC Berkeley campus, and what happened there this past week. And what happened was they prevented someone from utilizing their right to freedom of speech. And that was Ann Coulter, author and speech maker. She is a professional speech maker or giver, I guess whatever you want to call it. She's a professional speaker, that's the word. And she's pretty brilliant at what she does, hence all of her novels and fans and talk show bustle about her. She went on a few talk shows this past week. She was on Fox. She spoke with Tucker Carlson, who is many people's favorite show host right now, as he has the top slot for Time, which is great. Congratulations to Carlson on that. So anyway, why would a public institution prevent Coulter from utilizing her freedom of speech? Well, because they are liberally biased. It is a liberally biased institution. They have a strong liberal bias within the institution, and many college campuses do right now in the United States. And that's a huge societal problem right now for the United States of America. We're supposed to be equal, but now we have conservatives that are being treated as second-class citizens because of their political beliefs. There are all these people talking about Muslims in the U.S. and how Muslims should not be discriminated against because they're Muslim. People shouldn't associate them with ISIS. People shouldn't feel threatened around the Muslim. People shouldn't feel threatened if someone wears a veil because people wear crosses on their neck. And you know, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with religious freedom. Because why? Because that's part of the First Amendment. It's part of the first right as an American person, freedom of expression. So that encompasses freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and you can be whoever you want to be. You can tattoo yourself as a cheetah, literally. There's a guy who was on Ripley's Believe It or Not who tattooed himself as a cheetah. So tell me why I can't be a conservative. I'm a lot better off than the guy who's tattooed with cheetah print all over his body. I mean, come on. It's just a little ridiculous, people. Thank you. Yes, so it's just a little ridiculous. We got a little bit of an audience at Blue Jeans Pizza. There's great spaghetti here. You gotta come for lunch sometime. Try the meatball pizza. The owner, Ken, told me he puts ricotta on his meatball pizza with marinara, or he does it with mushroom meatball and white sauce. And it just made me hungry, and that's after I had cookies for breakfast, so that's saying a lot. So getting back to the topic of conversation, now that we all are on the same page as to why, you know, this has happened at Berkeley, they're a liberal institution, and well, let's delve further into that. You know, this has become a huge issue throughout the nation, is the liberal bias. We see it in the media, we see it on college campuses, and it's so prevalent that college campuses have become a breeding ground for liberals. That's actually what they've been called. They've been called cesspools because they're just reproducing like bacteria, exponentially increasing in numbers because of word of mouth, because of the media, because of all the advertisements and everything that screams liberal but does it subliminally. So if we're talking brainwashing, which we talk about on the Katie Sassine show, this is the epitome of brainwashing. A college campus prohibiting freedom of speech that is a college campus known for fighting for freedom of speech. And there's several historical photos that you can look back on if you need evidence of that, and videos as well. So in addition to the public university that prohibited freedom of speech on campus, well, I won't say prohibited, but denied and failed to adequately support and defend freedom of speech on campus for Miss Ann Coulter. In addition to that, the local police department didn't do anything either. Why? Because of the liberal bias in the United States of America. And if we're talking epidemics, there's another one for you, because we know there's epidemics that we talk about every day. The recent one was the opiate epidemic. The liberal bias epidemic can destroy this country. If we allow it to destroy this country, it will destroy this country. So as a person, and not only as a person, but as a citizen of the United States, it's not your right, but it's your job, and it should be a priority to understand what a republic is and what the United States stands for, and to know the Bill of Rights. And I'm very surprised that at a prestigious university such as UC Berkeley, and I hope you guys watch this over at Berkeley, and I will send this over to my friend in California. Well, he went to a different Berkeley College of Music. I will make Alon watch this video. He is a DJ over there, and he is very liberal. I will make Alon watch this episode and see what he's got to say about it, because as a Californian, super liberal, Alon will want to disagree with me, but I don't know how he's going to pull this argument off, honestly. We have a university, public university, inhibiting freedom of speech, inhibiting the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. I mean, I'm shocked that a prestigious university doesn't even know its Bill of Rights. Its students don't even know their Bill of Rights. Its students don't respect the Bill of Rights. It doesn't really sound like they're getting a good education, if you ask me. It sounds like they're getting an education, but what they're getting is indoctrination. They're not getting an education, they're getting indoctrinated. They're not getting educated. Me, I studied political science, I got educated because I actually started to think for myself and understand things for myself and do research for myself. But that's not really happening at Berkeley. There's a lot of groupthink going on at Berkeley. And we know that groupthink can be a recipe for disaster, people, a huge recipe for disaster. Just ask former President Barack H. Obama. Just ask him. And Michelle Obama, who's running the OFA, Organizing for Action. So they want to be treated as equal citizens. Conservatives are now being treated like second-class citizens in the United States. It's absolutely unacceptable. People are asking me if I'm worried about working with people in the entertainment industry because of my political beliefs, and it is so agitating that one would even have to worry about that. I mean, a Muslim doesn't have to worry about getting a job in the United States, right? According to the media. So why should I? Why should I be treated as some kind of second-class citizen? I'm an American citizen. I have conservative beliefs. And if someone doesn't want to work with me for my beliefs, as I said in the last segment, I am not in the wrong. They are in the wrong. All they have to do is look at the Bill of Rights and read just a few sentences, actually. It doesn't take much effort. So Berkeley was not willing to provide a safe place for Coulter to speak. They didn't necessarily prohibit her, but because the police forces were not willing or ready, of course, to do their job, and the university was not willing and ready to do their job as well and foster freedom of speech, it's more of an option for Berkeley campus, but you know, they have security forces as well, so it is a job for many of them there. Because of that, you know, Berkeley is clearly wrong here. Now, this show is going by really quickly. We only have a couple minutes left. So what I want to do is tell you all out there about the protest going on at Kennesaw State University. Do you have the picture of the stop sign up there, Sam, with the hashtag on it? Okay. So there is actually hashtags around campus that say hashtag KSU anti-black attack. They're all over campus. I've got pictures of Post-its on stop signs that say anti-black attack. I've got pictures on my phone to show y'all out there. We'll talk about this on Monday. I'll have a guest caller. So you'll see those photos in short time. I took these photos myself just on my iPhone, so they're not in HD quality, but nonetheless, it's evidence that there was hashtag KSU anti-black attack protest going on at campus. Why? Because the defunding of African and African diaspora studies program. What is diaspora? Diaspora has come to mean the migration or dispersion of any group of people from their ancestral homelands, and in this case, African diaspora. So what's going on is a defunding of this program, which gives students the opportunity to have an interdisciplinary educational experience. This is from the KSU website, that fosters, and if you don't know, KSU is Kennesaw State University, that fosters an understanding of global experiences of African and African descended peoples, so everywhere in the world. So this is essential. This is an essential, it's an essential, what's the word? It's essential education for African people, to many African people, many African Americans. So the guest caller, Winston, he is an African American. He will call in and talk to us on Monday about how he feels about this issue. Is it an issue that we're defunding it? Should we give extra funding to this program? Why should this program have extra funding? And what other programs at KSU get extra funding? What makes this program special that we should keep its funding is what we are going to go over. Why it's there, what it is, what's in it for you, and how they operate and how it works. We're going to go into that on the Katie Sassine Show. Stay tuned in for Monday's episode, always at 10 a.m. Remember to send me comments, questions, and suggestions at katie@fetchyournews.com, and please follow me at KatieFYNTV. Thank you so much for tuning in to Fetch Your News and FYNTV.com, and we'll see you next time.